Good afternoon and welcome to the Bell Sports Complex here in Brossard, Quebec. I am FBF Hall of Famer Brent Bach and I'm joined by 8-time All-Star and 8-time champion, Kwesi Guatemala. Kwesi, big matchup today for the 4A championship. The 5 seed 7-3 Goons against the 6 seed 7-3 Killer Rays. Both teams did not meet during the regular season, so this is obviously the first matchup here this season, and the stakes can't get any bigger. Championship on the line.
Yeah, this is probably, we were both talking about it on the podcast. This is by far probably one of the best games. You have a veteran talent from the Killer Rays on the chemistry that they have and just the concepts that they run. And then on the opposite side, you have the Goons, where you have extremely crazy athletes that actually are part of the Concord University Stingers. So it's gonna be a point where you're not even gonna know who's the better team on the opposite side, because they're both going to be showing different type of skills.
So both teams are explosive offensively. The Goons with the #1 ranked offense in 4A. The Killer Rays with the 3rd ranked offense in 4A. So obviously, again, both teams know how to put some points on the board. But as we say all the time, defense wins championships. What do both teams need to do here defensively to get the W today?
They're going to have to make a stop. Both teams are going to have to try to be able to get the other team to not know what they're doing, shoot a certain zone, and get a turnover or some sort of interception, a batted pass that ends up to interception. Someone's going to need a turnover.
Again, obviously, going back to offense, right? Looking at the quarterback battle right here, it's going to be Tyler Bianchi of the Killer Rays. 47 touchdown passes in the regular season. Obviously, had a great year for him. I believe quarterback of the year as well. Taking on Xavier Tremblay of the Goons. Bianchi has a lot of experience where Tremblay, I believe this is his rookie season, right? Dual threat quarterback. He can beat teams with his arms and his legs. Who do you think has the edge here this afternoon?
That's a hard question to say. I think they both have different edges regarding the veteran from the Killer Rays, because he understands most concepts. But then you look on the Goon side, where if the rush from the Killer Rays is not going to be able to make an impact, they're going to be able to expose it.
All right, so we talked some offense, we talked some defense. We're getting ready to start this game. The Goons are starting with the ball quickly. Kwesi, what do the Goons have to do to get the W here this afternoon, and then what do the Killer Rays have to do?
Just take your time, give what the offense is giving you, give what the defense is giving you, and the same thing on the opposite side. I think whoever makes the first mistake, it's gonna cost them the game. So both teams are just gonna have to take what the opposite teams are giving.
So Tremblay gets a snap. He looks to his right, passes to the far side. That pass is caught, tackled right away. His receiver for the Goons, number 13, big catcher on the right sideline. So
Yeah.
I believe that's Oriola Poirier.
So right there, very easy concept. They ran all hooks, easy catch, about 5 to 6 yards, and they got things going.
So it's going to be second down and about 4, maybe 5 now. Tremblay gets a snap, looks to his right again, fake to the right, goes right down the middle. He has a man open. Caught, touchdown, Goons. Big catch over the middle. That's Will Chamberlain giving the Goons an early 6-0 lead here in Brossard.
Yeah, so that was a great play call. He ran all hooks to the right side and then a post coming from the left side. As we talked about before, Killer Rays, for them to have an impact and win this game, whoever does go deep for their play calling is actually going to have to go deep. It seems like the halfback on the left side didn't go fully deep, and that's the reason why they got burned over the top.
So Goons now going for the 1-point conversion here from the 5-yard line. Tremblay being flushed to his right. He throws there, and that pass is batted down at the last second, intended for number 9, Xavier Chalui.
So yeah, that was a great play on both sides. The quarterback kind of avoided the rush, rolled out right, but the defender on the Killer Rays was able to break down and bat the ball away.
So here comes the Killer Rays offense now, looking to respond their first offensive drive of the game here.
Yeah. So Killer Rays again, they just have to nice and easily. Maybe I think we're probably going to look some for all hooks here on the first play.
So Bianchi gets a snap. He looks to his left. He goes there. Quick out route. He's hitting Tyler Gerberg. Gerberg, the receiver of the year in Division 4A. 25 touchdowns this year for Gerberg.
Yeah, we're definitely going to hear that name along a lot tonight.
Yeah, 25 touchdowns in the regular season. Kind of picked up where he left off in the postseason. 7 TDs so far to lead his squad. So second, I should say, and about 4 for the Killer Rays. Bianchi goes to his right. He's going deep. He has a man open, just out of the reach of the outstretched hands of Gerberg, who is in a corner. He had a step on his defender, number 10, Justin Gauthier, but again, the pass just a little too far for him to handle.
Yeah, he just missed that. The Goons ran a man-to-man concept, and Tyler was able to beat this defender. Just it's unfortunate the ball was a bit overthrown.
So now it's second and short here, about second and 3, maybe 4. What are you calling here right now for your Tyler Bianchi? Are you trying for a deep shot again, or are you making sure you pick up the first down?
I think you're able to do an air deep shot again. I think maybe double post with a straight through, send 3 verticals, and see if someone's open.
So Bianchi waits the snap. Looking to see what the defense is doing. He gets it to his right. Goes to his left. Caught. Curtis Ryan picks up the first down. Number 9 for the Killer Rays. Their second leading receiver. 35, catches on the season. 506 yards. 13 TDs for Ryan this year. So a big first down to extend the drive for the Killer Rays.
Yeah, that was a nice little easy 10-yard hook. He came back for the ball. Easy pitch and catch, and that's exactly what they're going to have to do if they're going to win this game. Take whatever the defense is going to give you.
So a fresh set of downs here, just past midfield for the Killer Rays. So Bianchi waiting for the snap again, giving some last-minute instructions to his receivers. He gets the snap. It goes to his right. He throws her to the end zone. Batted down. Great defensive play there by the Goons. That looks like it was number 7, Crisley Bazil.
Yeah, so that's something that the Killer Rays going to have to realize. If you're going to want to win a lot of jump balls, you're not going to win it. The Goons have a super athletic defense where a lot of the times that they're not going to win the jump ball when the ball's in the air.
The pass intended for number 2, Aiden LaRiviere, one of the bigger receivers in this Killer Rays offense. Second down now, faking the quick throw, electing the run now is Bianchi. He's deflagged though right away by Poirier. Small gain of maybe, I want to say, 3, maybe 4 yards there on a scramble by Bianchi.
Yeah, not the longest yardage off a run, but also it kind of keeps the momentum going for the offense. They just got stopped with a bat down, so they're able to pick up a couple yards, kind of gives them back the momentum.
So the Killer Rays now, with about 15 minutes remaining in the first half, ball just outside of the 10-yard line. Bianchi gets the snap. Now he tries to shovel pass to the left. Quickly tackled right away. Where's the receiver? That was Gerber getting the shovel pass. He was tackled, though, after about maybe a 4 yard gain there.
Yeah, so I believe that's a first down for them. You're going to see a lot of those shovel passes. He does it quite often. He's kind of mastered it, how how he does it. And it's kind of hard to stop because it's the receiver usually that he does throw the ball to, it comes off really fast, and it's to a point where when you're defending it, you can't even get there until the ball's thrown.
So first and goal now for the Killer Rays. Ball at about the 6-yard line now for their offense. Bianchi gets the snap. He goes to his left again, faking the shovel. Actually, no, he doesn't fake it. He tosses it up in the air. Intended for Ryan. That gets knocked down, though, in the end zone by number 7, Dylan Boucher.
Yeah, so right there, he kind of rolled out to one side. He threw it up as a jump ball. The defender did have a shoulder on the receiver. I believe that's Kurt.
Curtis Ryan.
He did have a hand on him, but again, it wasn't that dramatic on the pass interference that they wanted. So I think they're going to let that play.
Yeah, Ryan definitely thought there should have been a call, but nonetheless, the play continues. No call. Trips to the right-hand side now. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left for the Killer Rays offense. Bianchi gets a snap. He looks to his left. Quick pass. An end zone touchdown, Gerberg. We're all tied up at 6.
Yeah, so great route, great pass. It was kind of weird. Goons didn't even send a rush there, or the rush kind of delayed. It became like 2 of the defenders were on top of the snapper. Hopefully they're able to change that because you can't give the quarterback that much time to throw the ball. It's going to be a very bad on the Goon side.
So Killer Rays now going for the 2-point combo. So in Flat Plus football, you can go from a 1-point combo for the 1 or a 2-point combo from the 10-yard line. Killer Rays electing for the latter. Pass it in zone. That gets tipped by the rusher and then knocked down again by Poirier. So good defensive stand there on the 2-point conversion for the Goons defense. We all tied up at 6, about 13 minutes and counting remaining here in the first half.
Yeah, that was a great tip ball because I don't think if he doesn't touch that ball in there, I believe it's going to be a successful 2 points for Killer Rays. So the fact that he got a hand on it, it's a great job because it keeps the game to 6-6.
So we saw, obviously, the Goons, Kwesi, they scored on their first drive of the game. They scored pretty quickly. Do you think they continue with this quick attack, or they want to maybe march the field and kill some time?
I believe all year Goons has kind of been airing out the ball, so I believe they're going to keep trying to do what they're used to doing. As we see here, they just took down the quick hook. We have a flag on the play, but I believe he's going to call flag guard.
There's going to be flag guarding against the receiver. Looks like that was Poirier. Poirier was tackled just a couple seconds after making the catch there, but he would have been tackled even a little bit sooner if it wasn't for the flag guard. So that's a 5-yard penalty now against the Goons offense. So it'll be after the catch. So they'll give Poirier again of about 3, maybe 4 yards, and then they'll take off the 5 yards due to the penalty.
Yeah, that's something I think the Goons is do pretty often because most of their players are tackle players that they're kind of used to defending their self and using their hands, and a lot of times they are going to get called for flag guard.
So Tremblay now gets a snap a little bit deeper now in his own end. Oh, he just avoided the sack right there. That would have been a safety. He lets the scramble now. We're going right up the middle. Breaks one tackle. Not a second. Finally hauled down by La Riviere after a solid gain right there.
So that was great coverage by Killer Rays. They kind of disguised that they were not going to cover deep, and then the last second, the two guys kind of bailed. And then the outlet that they wanted on for Goons, they had a quick 5-yard hook. They ended up taking it away. So unfortunately, the rusher didn't get the sack, but they kind of showed that they're able to make the right calls and make the right defensive calls.
It's about 3rd and 6, maybe 7 right now. Oh, Tremblay, he gets sacked, taken down by number 7 right there. Great rush for the Killer Rays.
Yeah, so that was a great play. So basically, that should have happened on the first play that we just missed, but instead the rusher actually was able to get the sack compared to last time where he just missed it. Right now, Killer Rays is really showing that they're able to have a very good defensive playing call. They're kind of playing like a 2-2-1 high over the top, which you don't see with a lot of teams, but it's working out.
So the rusher right there was number 7, Jared Arani, again picking up his 9th sack of the postseason. You talked about the defense right now the Killer Rays are playing. What's the advantage of playing that type of defense?
It takes away everything over top and kind of everything underneath. So Goons is going to have to throw the ball. Right now we have an incomplete pass.
Yeah, so we saw a throw right there. Arani picked up the sack on the last play, had a pass deflection on that play, so it's going to be a punt here for the Goons.
I believe it's a turnover, actually.
Oh, you know what? You're right. Yeah, you're right. It's turnover on downs.
Yeah, it's a turnover. So great job by Killer Rays. I think they kind of realize what type of defense they're going to have to run. We both talked about this on the podcast this week that if they want to win this game, they're definitely going to have to take away the over the top and make sure the guys are deep.
So now after a solid defensive stand right there by the Killer Rays, they give their offense the ball back at the 5-yard line. Bianchi gets a snap. Another shovel pass right there. Touchdown!
Yeah, that shovel pass is really deadly. That's something it's hard to stop. You might not think it's that hard to stop, but when you do play against it, and I've played against this team a few times, and it's something where you don't even realize, and it just happens so fast, and just the timing between the quarterback and Tyler, the fact that they do it, it just always works.
So another shovel pass, another score right there for the Killer Rays. Not going for the 2-point convert once again. They're up by a score of 12-6. If they get it, they make this game a 14-6 lead.
Yeah, watch this post over top, maybe. Oh no, post corner.
Riviere. Oh, he caught it, but it couldn't stay in bounds. Looks like his knees might have touched the sideline.
Yeah, unfortunately the ball was kind of overthrown, but great route. Maybe. Maybe something they're gonna look back at in the next time they score.
So 12-6 lead now for the Killer Rays. Again, they trailed in this game. They started on defense. The Goons marched down the field and scored on their first possession rather quickly. We've seen 2 straight offensive drives for the Killer Rays, resulted in 2 straight touchdowns. So now let's see if the Goons can respond and even this game up at 12 apiece. Tremblay right over the middle, a rocket that gets caught by Chamberlain. The man who scored a touchdown earlier in this game for the Goons.
Yeah, that was a good concept. They kind of came back. Goons kind of had to realize that we have to kind of go a bit easier, and they just ran nice all hooks, made the quick pass, and got the yards that they needed.
So setting up now a 2nd and short. Looks like about 2nd and either a long 3 or maybe 4 right there for this Goons offense. What are you calling right here, Kwesi, if you're Tremblay?
I think you just run all hooks again.
So I said they do exactly that now. There's a hook right there on the sideline. That's caught. First down and then some. Nice reception there by Crisley Bazil on the left sideline, picking up more than enough for the first down. Moving the change, putting the ball at about I want to say about the 13, maybe 14-yard line of the Killer Rays.
Yeah, so exactly. I think he just keeps going all hooks, kind of maybe two goes with hooks underneath, because it seems like the Killer Rays, as I said before, they're running that 2-2-1 offense where you can't cover the whole field underneath, so you're gonna have a lot of the sideline comebacks wide open.
Trombley gets the ball now on first down, just outside of the red zone.
That's a pick.
Put to the corner. Oh, caught. Touchdown. No, they're saying, he might have went out of bounds. Or might have got a foot on the line.
We might see a challenge here.
Yeah, see, a lot of the Goons players right now are saying they want to challenge that. Julian Prue, the official on that left sideline, current player as well.
It's close.
So, yeah, looking at the replay there, you guys could obviously see that at home. We'll get another one. Here's another angle from the opposite side of the field. See the pass right to the left corner. It's hard to see from that angle.
I believe his foot was on the line. That's the call the ref called. So I think they're not going to challenge. They're just going to live to see another day and go for third down, I believe.
Trouble now with the ball. Crossing his body. Dangerous pass right there. Ended up hitting the intended target. But it's a dangerous pass. All the quarterbacks out there, I mean, throwing across your body is definitely not the smartest move.
Yeah, that was a very dangerous pass. It's a good thing he put some sling in it, to the point where kind of defender didn't even realize that it was coming by the time it came. So unfortunately, his receiver did drop the ball. But again, it's something that you don't want to do. You never want to throw cross body.
And my apologies. So we had the rosters for both teams, but a lot of these guys have different numbers on than what they normally have on the roster. Poirier catch on the sideline. He gets tackled after a gain of about 5, maybe 6.
Yeah, so it's a good play coming back to it. I believe we're going to fourth down. I think we're going to be 4th and 2. So it's a good play to get a couple yards. They got about 9 yards there, so it made a manageable fourth down.
Yeah, you're exactly right. 4 for 2, maybe even a long one here. So if you're Trombley right here, if you're the Goons offense, what are you calling right here to make sure you get the first?
Crossing routes. Anything coming across so you're able to get someone that's going to be open.
So let's see what they do. Quick pass to the sideline. Caught. First down. Poirier extends the drive here for the Goons.
Or at the end of the day, I guess you just keep throwing the ball to Poirier and make.
That seems to be the plan.
Yeah, seems like I think that's his 4th catch today so far.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's working. Feed him.
Yeah, see on the replay right there. Good job by Poirier, shielding the ball from the defender, making sure his feet were well before the out-of-bounds line, and, of course, making sure he secured the ball before falling down. Just inside of 5 minutes to go, first down and goal, pass, catch, touchdown, Goons.
Yeah, so that was a very easy concept route. It was just an out on the line. The defender didn't have enough time to come down to it. So, and the corner playing on the left side also was kind of out of position, so they're able to make a quick, easy pass that led to a touchdown.
Yes, I believe that was Chamberlain again. And if that's the case, that is his 2nd touchdown of the game. It's done all the scoring so far for the Goons.
So we have a big convert over here.
Yeah, 12-12 game right now. So, the Goons going for 2 now instead of going for 1 like last time. Trombley gets the snap. He rolls all the way to his right, passes it to the sideline, off the hands of Poirier, and out of bounds. We are all tied up at 12, just inside of 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Brent Bach and Queasy Gordon Mall with you live from Brassard, Quebec at the Complex Sportif Bell, here in the 4A championship game between the Goons and the Killer Rays.
That was a good play. It seems like the Killer Rays are playing kind of a lane man, and Poirier was able to bring his defender past him and then come down for the ball. There's the sling. The sling was kind of a bit too much for him. That's the reason why they didn't catch it, but it was a good play.
So Killer Rays now looking to answer. Going to break this tie. Pass over the middle. A dangerous one. Goes off a couple of hands, but falls incomplete.
Yeah, so that was a very bad play. He was kind of waiting for one of his defenders to kind of do. It seems like they had a scissor concept where both receivers, I believe it's the slots, are going like post. They're doing post, one over top, one over at the bottom. But it seems they both kind of sat in the middle, which the quarterback, I feel like, was waiting for one of them to kind of move out the way. They didn't. He kind of just still threw it. Very dangerous pass. That could have been interception, but he's lucky enough that it didn't get picked off.
2nd and long now facing the Killer Rays. Just inside of 3 minutes now remaining here in the first half. Bianchi looks to his left, and that pass is tipped into the air by the rusher and falls incomplete.
That was a big tap by the rusher. It seems like they also did a wheel route for both sides here. It looked like the ball was about to get thrown. I'm not sure if it was going to be. I'm not sure if he was throwing to the post or he's throwing to the wheel. But I'm very curious to see how that play would have went if he didn't get batted down.
Yeah, so pardon me, both rushers making an impact in this contest.
It's a big third down right now.
Yeah, the rusher Pierre-Olivier Pepin.
Nice
Catch on the
catch.
sideline by Gerberg, able to squeeze that ball before falling out of bounds. First down now. The Killer Rays are marching just inside of 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. And Kwesi, like you said, huge catch there on the sideline by Gerberg.
Yeah, that was a very good catch. It seems like he also adjusted. It seemed like he had to go when as soon as his quarterback kind of rolled out, he kind of just sat on the sideline and he kind of just kept drifting to the sideline, and the quarterback was able to find him. And he was able to make a first down.
And I got to ask you, Kwesi, as a receiver, you play receiver, how hard is it to make sure you have to keep your feet in balance, make sure you catch the ball, make sure everything else is where it needs to be? And obviously great hand-eye coordination. A good tackle right there. Gain of about maybe 1 yard.
Yeah, that was a great job by the rusher. But to answer your question, it's pretty hard. But I feel like the amount of reps and the amount of times you do it, it gets a bit easier. But again, it's still something that's pretty hard to do.
That's a good tackle there again by Pierre-Olivier Pepin, former defensive back at Champlain College. On that pass, almost intercepted off the hands of Justin Gauthier. He might have got a pick six right there. I'll tell you what, though, Kwesi, you saw Gauthier come in. That pass was stolen the way it was because of the rusher Pepin. Caused the quarterback to kind of have to pump fake there and throw kind of a sidearm pass there.
Yeah, that's exactly it. The quarterback didn't even realize that Justin was coming down on the route. He kind of just figured his guy was doing a hook and it was going to be an easy completion, but it was almost a pick six.
Third down now, quick shovel pass. It worked once, why not try it again? The Gerberg tackled, though, immediately by Poirier. So a gain of about 7, maybe even 8 yards right there.
Yeah, so that's their go-to play. You're going to see it a lot tonight in this game where that shovel pass is just a go-to. I wouldn't be surprised if they ran the same thing over again.
So big fourth down here facing the Killer Rays offense. It's fourth and about a long 1, maybe 2 at the most. It's going to be interesting to see what the Killer Rays dial up here. Will they go back to the shovel pass? You have to imagine the Goons are going to be sitting on that, or Bianchi try to hit maybe the mid-level of the field. Bianchi gets a snap. Looks like he's going to run. He sends the ball forward. The ball's knocked out of his hands, but he's going to pick up enough for the first down.
Yeah, it's odd. I'm not sure exactly what the ruling is if he does let if the defender hits the ball out of his hands, right? Because that's something you can't do. But it seems like the refs are just going to let it play. They're going to give him the first down, and it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 11.
But the 11-yard line. Got a ball knocked out of the quarterback's hands by number 6, Will Chamberlain. Will Chamberlain making an impact on offense, not making an impact on defense. Unfortunately for him and his team, though, it wasn't enough to stop the first down. This drive continued for the Killer Rays. Pass over the middle. Oh, no. Fake pass there by Bianchi. Jump pass instead. Knocked away at the last second. Good defensive play by Boucher. That's the second pass deflection of this half.
Yeah, so he's very unfortunate that was not a pick because that's a very dangerous pass. He was kind of looking for his snapper, ended up not being there. He kind of was rolling out to the right side, throwing on his back foot, giving his receiver attempt to try to catch the ball. But at this point, I think you kind of just either tuck it and run or you throw it to the floor. It's a very dangerous pass.
27 seconds remaining here in the first half. So Bianchi gets the ball, looks to his left. Pump face goes back there again. Caught. Touchdown. Aiden Lariviere puts the Killer Rays in front 18-12 in the dying seconds of the first half.
So that's exactly the corner route that they ran for the 2-point convert that they missed. He literally did the same thing, but instead he was able to keep his feet inside bounds, and they came back to it. So great touchdown. Again, only 27 seconds left for Goons to kind of come back and make their own attempt to try to score. So this is a great score from Killer Rays to go up by 8 points. I believe they're going for 2 right now. So if they can make it an 8-point game going into halftime, it would be great for them.
So neither team has been successful on the either 1-point or 2-point attempts. Killer Rays looking to break that drought right now. Pass it right side, that Riviere. He catches it for 2. 20-12 now is the lead for the Killer Rays.
Again, great concept. He had his slot receiver, on the his wide receiver on the right side to do a post, and the slot to just do a 10-yard out, and that was able to open up for his slot receiver to get open, and they're able to get the 2-point convert. So right now, they're up by 8 points with 27 seconds left, which would be huge for them if they could go into halftime being up by 8.
So obviously for the Goons here, I mean, what are you dialing up here to march the field quickly? Again, you have less than 30 seconds remaining here in the first half.
I think they just have to go as slowly as possible. Take the hooks. Oh, they're going deep. Yes.
That might be offensive interference. Yeah,
Right.
and that's going to be the call. Julian Prue on the spot right there. Saw the receiver going down. That was Bazil, pardon me. He was basically pushing that Riviere out the way. Great coverage by him, though.
Yeah, exactly. So again, Killer Rays they're still playing that 2-2-1 concept where they're making sure they don't get beat over top. So something for the Goons have to realize is that they're not giving over top. They're making sure their depth is deep, and I'm pretty sure they're telling each guy in the huddle, don't get beat over top. We can't afford it. If we don't get beat over top, we're going to win this game. So again, the fact that the Goons went over top, it was nowhere even close to be there. The two closest guys were the players from the Killer Rays.
I know you were saying before that play started, obviously, you were saying that the Goons should take their time. I mean, I believe what you're saying. I think maybe hitting the middle of the field, which should be wide open at this point, marching the field. I mean, 23 seconds doesn't seem like a lot, but it is in flag football.
Yeah, so I was trying to say is just take the hooks from the outside. Since you know that they're playing a 2-2, maybe they don't know they're playing a 2-2-1, but you need to realize that both sides of the field are going to be wide open. So if you're able to get the ball to your receivers there and just get out of bounds, even though there's only 20 seconds left, you're able to get the ball in, and not the time is not going to run as fast as you think.
So after the penalty, Poirier pick up about 9 on the right sideline. Now Trombley goes to the opposite side. Nice move by Belzil. Shakes one man, gets out of bounds smartly. You got to stop the clock right there.
Yeah.
13 seconds remaining.
Yeah, so that's exactly it, right? Again, right to the sideline, easy catch, be able to get out of bounds. Very dangerous that he tried to make a move, try to get those extra yards. The fact that he didn't get tackled, because if he did get tackled, it would be a point where they would have to get rushed because the whistle would have stopped until the ref would have placed the cones in the bags. But again, great move by him.
Second down now from midfield. Pass over the middle. Oh, and a drop right there. Fortunate drop by the receiver right over the middle. That was number 9, Xavier Chalui.
Yeah, so unfortunately he tried to catch the ball and run. You know, that's football 101. You know, we always tell our players, if we're coaching or just our teammates in general, make sure you catch the ball before you run.
Yeah, 100%. All right, so again, the ball just at midfield right here. Second down now. Quick pass to the sideline to Belzil. You better get out of bounds. Belzil does exactly that. So pick up of about 5, maybe 6 on the play there by Belzil.
It seems like it was more than that.
Actually, no,
it seems like it was
I'm wrong.
like 13 or 12.
Okay, no, you're right now. Pick up about 12, first down.
Yeah, it looked like it was a deep 10-yard hook that he did, and he kind of just got extra 2 yards after. Again, we have 4.4 seconds. Don't know how accurate that is, but they at least maybe have 2 plays over here.
Yeah, so the ball at about, let's say, the 10-yard line. So again, just outside of the red zone.
Yeah, I think he does a quick out.
Chombley gets it, goes to the right, over the middle. Actually, nice catch in between 2 players. Ooh, we might get that penalty there for spinning the ball. No, it looks like the officials are letting it go.
Yeah, because it wasn't that dramatic. He kind of just spinned it. He didn't make any dance. It wasn't that crazy. I think it's something that they could let it play off.
And I think that was Chamberlain again, yeah. Chamberlain, the man of the hour for this Goon squad. 3rd touchdown of the half. 2-point game now. 20-18 is the lead for the Killer Rays. So now the Goons, it appears, they're going to go for the 2-point conversion and the tie here to end the first half.
Yeah, it was a huge touchdown for them. Again, I don't think Killer Rays even realized that the ball was even thrown before it was thrown, and it was just slinged right in there.
Yeah, accuracy right there. The strong suit on that throw there by Trombley. Trombley going to his left, across his body again, and that's caught for the 2-point convo. We're all tied up at 20.
Exactly around the same play he did. Instead, he just made sure he knew he was going to make a move right away. So right off the snap, he kind of tried to lean the rusher going to the right side, broke out to the left, found his receiver in the middle, and made sure they were able to get the 2-point convert and tie this up.
Yeah, so nice catch right there. Just trying to get the number of the player who caught the ball.
It was that's the snapper, Strom, the guy that scored the touchdown.
Chamberlain, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we apologize. So again, as I was saying earlier, we have the rosters here, but some of the players the for the Goons electing to go with some different numbers here. So guys like Ariola, Poirier, some other guys as well. So that's why we apologize for not getting the names right away. But when you switch numbers
Yeah, that's
at the end of the game, can't do much about that.
that's what we always say, to make sure that your jerseys are proper, and it makes our job so much easier.
All right, so welcome to halftime here at Complex Sportive CN, home of the 4A finals. So we saw, obviously, again, we talked about at the beginning, right? Two offensive teams, right? The number one ranked offense and the Goons showing why right there. Again, they were down in this game. They came back to tie it at the half. Killer Rays, the third ranked offense. Again, we're all tied up at 20 right now. What did you see and what did you like in the first half?
I like both teams, to be honest with you. One thing I did not. Oh, sorry. I'll go by for what I liked. Both teams kind of did what they're used to doing. They didn't do anything special. They didn't change anything. They didn't try to make something that they're not used to doing. Goons, again, they're a team that they like to air it out. They did what they had to do. First play of the drive, that they threw the ball right away. They did a go touchdown. After they kind of had to realize that it wasn't working, but then they end up taking taking the hooks from the sideline. Then for Killer Roy's, they kind of ran their same offense that they've been doing. We talked about it before. They're a veteran team. They know how their concept works. They weren't trying to go over top as much as they wanted to. And then I think the quarterback kind of realized too. He's like, I can't throw the ball on my back foot, and I kind of have to keep going what I'm used to doing. As we said, we saw his go-to route when he underthrows the ball to his main receiver, Tyler. So he kept doing that, and I feel like that's something that they stride. So it's good to see that they're doing that in the finals.
Okay, so switching sides. So defensively, right, we saw a lot of pass deflections out of both teams. So again, both teams kind of middle of the pack on defense in the regular season. Actually, the Killer Rays coming into the playoffs were the worst defensive team in all of 4A, but again, they've done enough to make the championship. Obviously, so you played on a lot of the higher division teams. You're a defensive player of the year actually in co-ed 1. Congratulations for that, by the way.
Thank you.
What do these teams need to do defensively to maybe create a turnover?
So for Killer Rays, the fact that they already got a turnover, they just have to run their same concept, 2-2-2-1. I think that's working excellent for them. For Goons, again, I think they're just going to have to keep shooting and trying to make the quarterbacks difficult to actually get the ball thrown. And they got to make sure they take away that shovel. That's something that's definitely going to have to be taken out of.
All right, so we are about 10 seconds away from the start here of the second half. Again, a 2020 game between the Goons and the Killer Rays, of course, going head-to-head for the Division 4A championship. Brent Bach and Kwesi Guatemala with you live here in Brossard.
It's going to be a very interesting half. It's huge that Goons scored the touchdown, because if they didn't, they would have been down by 8 points with Killer Rays with the ball, right? So that's a huge touchdown that they did. Plus it's a huge 2-point convert, right? So it got them. It was able to get them to stay in the game.
So we see first down there. Bianchi looking to go deep, couldn't connect over his intended receivers. So second and long now facing this Killer Rays offense.
Yeah, so I didn't really like that pass. It seemed like he wanted the quick out. That wasn't there, and he kind of forced something in the middle. Thankfully, no one in the Goons was kind of shooting that middle zone, and it made it incomplete.
So second and 10 now. Facing the Killer Rays, Bianchi gets the ball. He looks to his left, pump face on. He gets sacked.
Yeah, so that was a great coverage by the Goons. It looked like there was a corner that he kind of wanted. I believe that's Tyler. Or no, that's Justin, number 10 from the Goons. He kind of just played over top. He kind of looked at it the whole way. The quarterback was kind of staring at it, and by the time that he wanted to make a move, the rusher was already there.
Yeah, Justin Gauthier at the corner on the outside. Now coming on the inside now for his coverage, so playing that kind of halfback / linebacker role for the Goons. Third and long now. Well, it's penalty on the play. It might be rusher interference.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be rushing interference. I don't think the snapper even realized that the rusher was in front of him that fast.
So after that penalty on second down, it's going to be a penalty on third down now.
I wonder if they because he threw the ball away. I wonder at first it could be close to grounding. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to call, but I wonder if the Goons are just going to decline the penalty, make it a 4th and 15.
So it's interesting. So yeah, the call is rusher interference. So it's interesting now as to whether the Killer Rays will elect the punt. Don't forget, right in the first half, the Goons had the ball deep in their own territory after a couple of penalties, and they elected not to punt. They gave the ball back to their opponents, being the Killer Rays at the 5-yard line. The Killer Rays ended up punching the ball in for a touchdown. So will the Killer Rays now make the same choice as the Goons? And it appears they will.
Yeah, so that's exactly it. Right now, we're going to show a 15, and I think 4th and 16.
Yeah, from about the 6-yard line. Well, here we go. Killer Rays get the ball. Bianchi flush to his right, flows all the way to the left, and that's the following complete. So a big defensive stand by the Goons gives their offense the ball back at the Killer Rays 6-yard line.
Yeah, so I like the concept there. He kind of had a one-on-one coverage with his receiver, Kurt, I think, number 9.
Yeah, Curtis Ryan.
Yeah, Curtis Ryan. So I like the concept that the Killer Rays came out there. It came to a point where they picked on Goons is actually shortest DB on that side. Unfortunately, Curtis kept. He didn't. He kind of was looking back. If he kept going straight, and if he got himself to the end zone, I think he probably would either made the catch or maybe have caused a pass interference. So unfortunately, now that the Goons have the ball at their 5-yard line, so hopefully Killer Rays can make a stop here and get back the momentum.
So let's see now if the Goons can retake the lead. Pass it back in the end zone. Caught. Touchdown, Brazil.
Yeah, so that was a dangerous ball. Both defenders were very close to being able to get it, but fortunately that the Goons receiver was able to make a spectacular play and catch that. It seemed like it was like a jump ball as well too, and he was able to get it. So I believe they're going for 1 here. So it's 26-20. So it's a big 1-point convert.
So Trump gets the snap. Let's do this right up. Rocking it over the middle. Caught by Poirier.
That's a great concept. It seems like they were kind of working that out for both the 3 converts that they did compared to the 2-point convert they actually just got. It seems like it was something that they were developing, and it finally actually worked. So big turnaround, right? They were down by 8 with 20 seconds left. They end up scoring, getting the 2-point convert, tying the game, and now they just scored in less than 2 minutes, and now they're up by 7.
Killer Rays get the ball back, looking to respond. Oh, pass over the hands of the outstretched hands, of the receiver there. That looks like it was Donovan Hines there, number 13.
Yeah, it was a bit too high for him. I'm kind of scared right now for Killer Rays. I think they have to keep it composed right here. They're only down by 7. It's not that bad, but if the quarterback from for Killer Rays, if he decides to keep pushing the ball a bit too far and coming off his script, this could be a really bad turnaround.
Second and long now.
There we
Shovel
go.
pass to Gerber. Yes, smart play. I can tell by your tone of voice you like that call right there.
Yeah, exactly. So go back to the basics. Go back to the shovel. Get your 5-6 yards, and build some momentum. Because right now I feel like the momentum was kind of going one-sided. The fact that the turnaround of 15 points that we just saw before going to halftime, and then the first couple plays. So the fact that Killer Race is able to kind of slow it down here and get that first.
Fake shovel pass. Oh, almost intercepted, batted into the air by Pepin. Frustrated, he just throws the ball down to the turf. So after a pickup of 8 yards on the shovel pass to Gerberg, set up a third down there, but great play by the snapper again. Philippe Olivier Pepin, he's been all over the field tonight, as have both snappers actually. They both made an impact in this game, but a huge play right there by Pepin, now making it 4th and about 2.
Yeah, exactly. So it seemed like he wanted the shovel. He kind of went away from it, and then he tried to make a play.
The 4th down now, facing Bianchi. He was successful last time. He looks to run again to pick it up, and he picks up that and then some. First down for the Killer Rays. This drive continues.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate. The rusher was very close to get him, just missed him, and he ended up using his legs to get the first down. I feel like he's not as comfortable making a threat and throw. I think right now he doesn't seem comfortable throwing the ball with a defender close by. I wonder if that's going to cause problems going more into the second half.
Yeah, the throw wasn't there, so Bianchi used his legs as he has earlier in this game, averaging about 9 yards a carry this season. Oh, and it's intercepted!
No, so they're gonna
No.
call pass interference or some type
they
of
might
legal
call-
contact.
yeah.
Because he hit the ball at the
Out of the quarterback's hand,
hands.
yep.
Yeah.
Yep, so it's going to be roughing the passer there, I believe. Oh, that would have been, if that was tackle, that was a beautiful play right there. But unfortunately,
Yeah,
in flag
exactly.
football, you can't make any
Yeah.
contact whatsoever with the QB.
Yeah. It would have been, to be honest with you, if the quarterback kind of was throwing it and he was able to hit it, like
Yeah,
bat it down,
yeah.
then picked off. But the fact that he he had contact with the ball,
Yeah.
meaning his hand, that's the reason why it was a flag.
Yeah, so good eye by you and the referees right there. So it's going to be first down now for the Killer Rays offense. Yeah, legal contact they're calling. Yeah, so that, okay, finally now the official on the Bob on the right sideline is moving the cones or the sticks, if you will, a little bit forward. So the Killer Rays have the ball first and goal now from the Goons' 8-yard line. In 27-20 game for the Goons. Just over 12 minutes remaining here in the second half. Bianchi looking for the shovel pass. He lets to run instead. He gets tackled on the sideline. So again, if a ball only, I want to say 2, maybe 3 yards at the most. Get tackled there by Pepe and the rusher.
Yeah, so we're looking at a 3-yard gain. He went for that shovel pass. It wasn't there. The Goons just kind of just shooting on it right away. They're not letting the halfbacks are not taking any steps back. They're kind of playing very tight. So that shovel pass shouldn't be there for the rest of the game.
So right here, if you're calling this defense, Quasi, what are you calling for the Goons?
I think you run a lane, a lane that's no one moving. Because I think you're gonna have a post corner.
So Bianchi, another shovel pass into the air, back in the end zone is caught, but out of bounds. Caught by Curtis Ryan, but at least about a good 2 or 3 yards out of bounds. I'm not sure what he's arguing with the referee about there, but it was definitely out of bounds.
Yeah, he lost a lot of space. He kind of, I believe that looked like a post corner a bit differently, kind of like a out and then back in the end zone. But he lost. There's no room after. If they were maybe 5 yards backwards, like if they were at their 10-yard line, that probably would have been a touchdown. Just the fact that he's so super tall and he has a height advantage with against a lot of these players.
And you see the replay right there. You see the quarterback rolling Bianchi to his left, committing to the shovel pass. The defense rolled right with Ryan. They left Gerberg wide open on the front pylon. He didn't out.
Yeah, but I think what he was complaining about was that the push off. He was saying that the defender was pushing him off. It's something that could have been challenged again, right? But it wasn't, and I'm not sure if they would have won that challenge because it seemed like he wasn't able to get inside in general.
But there was no challenge on that last play right there. So we saw Donovan Hines was doing it, dragging it back in the end zone. He was wide open. We saw Will Chamberlain, who, I'm not going to lie right now, Quiz, he's going to be my pick for MVP at the Goons and winning this game. He kind of had to hit the brace and stretch out with his right arm to bat that ball away. It was intended for Hines, who was wide open in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. So good pass deflection right there by Chamberlain, who's having a whale of a game.
Just his fourth down, 4th and 3.
You know, shovel pass again. Did he get into the end zone?
Yeah, he
did.
did. Yeah.
Touchdown, Gerberg.
So that was a fake shovel back out, which is something you don't even realize. You're shooting down on the shovel pass so super fast, and then by all of a sudden the receiver just stops out, and you're not even close to making a play.
So we see the defender right there, Dylan Boucher, right? He's the corner playing right next to number 10 there, Gauthier. You have to imagine the shovel pass is happening. If you're Boucher, you're thinking if your receiver doesn't in, you know what, pass that off, especially if you're playing lanes.
Yeah.
You have to sit and wait for that shovel.
Yeah, exactly. So it would have to be a pass off, and then the corner would have to drop because they had a corner also as well. They had an in, out, plus a corner over top. So it's something that they would have had to make a change. But again, they just scored a touchdown. They're going for 2 over here.
Down by 1 right now. Passing it back in the end zone. Intercepted by Poirier. He's going to look to run it now. If he can score, he'll get 2 points. He breaks the tackle. He's down the left sideline. 2 points for the Goons. They extend their lead 29-26 with less than 9 minutes remaining in this contest.
Yeah, that's a huge 2 points for the Goons there. Great play, great finish, and those 2 points are going to make a big factor at the end of the day.
And how many times, I got to ask you, Quizzy, we've both seen it. How many times do you see a player, especially on a convert try, they make that pick in the end zone, they're like, I'm not running this back.
Yeah, exactly. But again, these guys are pretty young, right? So it's something that they look at and they're like, oh, I can actually make it. Like nowadays, a player like me, if I get an interception, I don't even bother trying to get back down the field. I kind of take a knee and I go, okay, all right, I did my job. I get the stop.
Lazy Quizzy. Take that Defensive Player of the Year award away. Quick pass on first down. Chamberlain, made a nice move, but I'll tell you what, who made a nice tackle? La Riviere right there.
Yeah, it was a great tackle. I don't think he even realized that he even got tackled.
So second down now and about 6, maybe 7 here facing the Goons offense.
So right now, the biggest issue for Killer Rays is that the Goons are up by 3. So if they score again, they go up by 9. That's a 2-possession game. That 2-point convert was a very that 2-point convert coming back was a very huge convert for the Goons.
Second down now, Trombley gets the ball. He's going deep to the left. Oh, Brazil, nice catch. He adjusted in the air, came down, couldn't get the touchdown, but able to pick up a first down.
Yeah, it was a great ball. It's to the point where he put the ball where only his receiver can actually catch it, because if he puts that ball anywhere more inside, it's definitely going to be a pick.
Yeah, see the replay right there. Yeah, you're right. Great pass right there. He knew the safety was coming over the top, did Tremblay. So he said, I'm going to put it over the outside shoulder of my receiver. He can make the adjustment and come down with the ball, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's where you love to see, right? When a quarterback's paying the ball only where his receiver can get it, it's like to a point where, okay, if my guy's not getting it, no one's getting it.
Tremblay now in his offense with the ball in the red zone, about the 5-yard line. Goes to his right, goes to the left now. Guy wide open. Oh, batted down by La Riviere at the last second.
That was a very dangerous throw. If anyhow, La Riviere, instead of batting it down, he kind of has his hands out, or is more like into a chest pass. You know, when you catch the ball with your chest, that's definitely would have been an interception.
I have to give La Riviere credit, though, because that wasn't his man. He was covering the guy on the left-hand side, Brazil. He shot all the way over.
He just came down. He made a playmaker play, you know. That's sometimes in the finals, that's exactly what you have to do.
Tremblay to his right again. Pass, caught, touchdown, Chamberlain.
Yeah, so that was a basic, an easy concept. The wide out on the right side goes straight through, takes away the corner, and the slot does a out, 10-yard out. Usually it's wide open, and they're able to capitalize, and now they're up by 6.
Right now they're up by 10 actually right now, because they were up by 3. So yeah, you had the
sorry, 9.
Up by 9. Yep.
So for some reason it says 10.
Yeah, it says 36-26. It should be
35-26
right now.
So I'm assuming unless they know they're about to get the convert and they know something we don't.
Well, let's see if they're right. Trombley spins, somehow gets out of the sack, tosses into the back of the end zone, off the hands of the receiver, and out of bounds.
That would have been crazy. I was about to say, they definitely know something we don't know. So the score right now is 35-26. Killer Rays down by 9. They have a big job to do, but again, they have to realize that there's still 5 minutes left in this game. Lots of time left. They also have the onside kick. They also have a challenge. If anything that doesn't go their way, there's still lots of time. So they have to make sure they take their time and just keep doing what they've been doing.
How much do you want to see some creativity out of this Killer Rays offense? Now, you talked about taking your time and marching on the field. Again, just less than 5 minutes remaining. There's more than enough time. But we've seen shovel pass after shovel pass after shovel pass. What do you want to see different out of this Killer Rays offense on this drive?
To be honest, I don't want to see anything different. I think they just keep going what they're doing, realizing the time is against them, but keep going through your concepts. Keep taking your hooks. Keep doing your shovels. Don't force anything over top.
You see Ryan there, quick pass in the slide. He found an opening in the zone by the Goons defense. He was tackled by Poirier. So a pickup of about 8 yards right there by Ryan on first down, setting up now 2nd and 2.
Yeah, so that's exactly it. They had a straight through, they had a hook inside, and they had the snapper go left, right. Found the open zone, and was able to make something happen.
Gotcha. Going deep, he has a man. Oh, off the hands of the receiver at the last second. He had a step on Goche, just couldn't squeeze the ball. And that's a rare drop there by the number 1 receiver in Division 4A, Tyler Gerberg.
Yeah, so that's exactly a play that they did in the first half, where he made the exact same throw, but it was way over the throw. And this time the ball was kind of just on point, but his receiver wasn't able to make the catch.
In one-score games this season, the Goons are 5-2, whereas the Killer Rays are 4-2. Let's see how much that weighs. That is going to be a factor, in this game here. But again, it's a two-possession game actually right now. Two-possession lead, I should say. Pass to the end zone, open. La Riviere catches a touchdown. Killer Rays creep a little bit closer.
You know, one thing you do actually, I started to realize. So the quarterback for the Killer Rays, when he decides to make a deep pass, first of all, the snap is way deeper than usually what it is, and he's already taking his three-step drop. So that's something maybe the Goons kind of realize and key on, that when he does that, it means the ball's either going on opposite sides and it's going to be a deep ball.
They get over the shoulder catch there by La Riviere. He just burnt his man in coverage. I believe that was Poirier.
Yeah.
So he's about 5-6 yards behind him.
Yeah. So we have a 3-point game. Killer Rays are opting to go for 2 to make it a 1-point game.
Would you go for 2 or would you go for 1 in this situation?
To be honest, I would go for 2, just in case Goons score. Just in case Goons score, it puts us in a situation is even if Goons score, they have to go for 2 to kind of get the 9-point leverage on us. So the fact now they're down by 3, it is unfortunate because now if Goons score, they're up by 9. But again,
your defense still needs to make a stop if you're Killer Rays.
That's exactly it.
As that pass to La Riviere way over his head. He was open, just the quarterback Bianchi didn't deliver a good ball.
Yeah. You can see by his drop was also a bit different. He didn't drop the way he did before this his touchdown pass.
Trumba gets a snap now. He has to be aware of the clock. Quick pass over the middle. Nice catch there. Gaining 9 yards by Chalui.
Yeah, so right now, for Killer Rays to actually make a stop they want, they're going to really have to squeeze inside the middle, give the outside, show that the outside is not open, and then squeeze back into the inside if they're going to want to make a stop here. That's how they made the first stop in the first half.
So Chalui getting 8, maybe 8.5 right there. Setting up second and short now for this Goons offense. Just inside of 2 minutes remaining in the contest. Trumba, he's going deep. He has a man. Touchdown!
Yeah, so that's something you do not want from Killer Rays. You didn't want to get beat over top. It came to a point where the quarterback kind of also forced it into a double coverage, but the receiver was able to make a huge play.
And we see La Riviere, who's provided great coverage all game. He was right in the back pocket of the receiver in Brazil, but Brazil just reached up and just pretty much grabbed it. I think that throw at the last second just got over the hand of La Riviere, the defender.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah, good job by basically at the high point getting that ball.
I think we're going to see a challenge here. The only thing that sucks is we don't have the best camera angle in the back of the end zone to actually see where his feet do fall. So that's not going to be the...
And don't forget, so this year, one of the changes we made in the rules here at FPF used to always be 2 feet in balance and make a catch. Now it's just you only need 1 foot in balance. Obviously, if your butt cheek or your knee or your elbow hits down, that is going to count as the 1 foot. So we see official Brent Young, who's running the instant replay here this afternoon and this evening here at the Complex Sportive CN.
Yeah, so they're basically going to challenge to see if he was in or not. Unfortunately, again, when I was saying that you can't really see the back angle, so it's going to be the angle from the left side to see where he lands. But again, it's very hard to see where exactly he does land because his feet is very close from the back line. But again, I don't think it's close enough to reverse or to make a reverse call.
Yeah, so there's Brent Young there on your right with Ali Reza, our producer for all the festivities here.
Yeah, so just looking at the replay here.
So the pass is going into the end zone. Again, we see La Riviere right there, tight coverage to the right-hand side of Belzile.
So he catches it when he's between maybe mid inside the end zone. It's frozen.
So yeah, at least he can
We
get a little closer here.
We got some zoom. The zoom is on.
So Belzile, of course, the receiver on the left. The white glove. So even though it's not his focus, I mean, this is going to help us. We can at least see a little closer to the sideline. So we see Belzile reaches up, he high points the ball,
So
So when
you
he
see
comes down
one
now,
foot, the one foot's
his right
in.
foot is in.
Yeah, his yeah. So one
Left foot
foot's
on the
in, one
line.
foot's out. But
It's
he's
good.
it's 1 foot now, right?
Yep, it's good.
If this was last year, that would be an incomplete catch.
Exactly.
But he had 1 foot in.
Yep. So despite not having the angle right there, like one of the pylon cams, the angle that we got from that shot is actually really, really good right there. It's
Yeah,
really
no,
well done.
that was a great angle shot.
So the touchdown is good. Waiting for the official signal from the officials, but the touchdown we can confirm for you here. We have the access to replays as you do at home. Touchdown is good by Brazil, so it's going to be a 41-32 lead now for the Goons with 1:51 remaining on the clock.
Yeah, there's still lots of time. Killer Rays have an onside in their back pocket, I believe, if they didn't waste their timeouts. Hopefully they didn't after
good.
making this challenge, so they should have one timeout. So after the Goons, after they officially say it's a touchdown, they're going to be down by 9. It doesn't really matter if the Goons go for 2 or 1 here. Killer Rays have to just make sure when they get back the ball, they do end up scoring, and then they have their onside kick, and they're going to see if they're able to convert that. So again, at the beginning, after this is done, Killer Rays has to get the ball. They have to score. That's their main goal is to score first, and then think of an onside play that might work.
So, Quays, I'm going to ask you, if you're in a huddle right now for the Goons, obviously we see the Goons players toss around the ball. They're pretty confident the touchdown is good. Regardless of what happens, whether they go for 1 or whether they go for 2, their defense is going to have to get back on the field momentarily. What are you saying to your defense right now if you're a member of the Goons?
Just don't get beat over top. Make everything underneath. So maybe play a 3-man cover and just make sure everyone's on the same page. A lot of the time, especially with certain type of athletes, like I don't want to point out names or anything like that, but a lot of type of things where you think you're better than the guy in front of you. Oh, they actually say incomplete. Oh,
Wow.
Wow.
That is a shocker. Okay.
Okay, he didn't have possession of the ball. Okay, so the fact
when his foot came out.
that he had his hand inside the receiver, he was able to get a hand in there. It basically was able to not give him possession to have both feet inside when he did get possession. When he did have full possession, his second foot
had already touched the line, which
exactly.
made it out of bounds.
So his first foot, he didn't have full possession. When he had full possession, his second foot was out. So great job for the officials seeing where the ball was, because that's something that me and you both kind of were looking at. We were kind of just looking at the feet and not looking to see where exactly the ball was.
So the moral of that story is don't listen to Quasi and I when it comes to judging balls that are in play or not, because it definitely looked like it was good. But yeah, you're right. Not having possession of the ball is crucial because, again, his right foot did come in. One foot did come in bounds for sure. The other one did go out of bounds, but again, he did not have firm possession of the ball before that second foot went out of bounds.
Yeah. So exactly. So right now we're gonna have a technical difficulties to see where the ball exactly is, because it seems like the refs are in midfield, but I don't think they remember where exactly the ball was when it was thrown, and they challenged to play.
Well, yeah, that's why you have instant replay, right? So the officials, they can go back. An official timeout, they can go back and see.
That's exactly it. So right now, I believe they had it at the 20-yard line, but I'm not. Myself, I'm not exactly sure where the ball was. I think they had one catch it was the middle of the field. So I believe they're at the. Did they have one catch or 2 catches? I think they're midfield.
Yeah, it's about midfield, give or take. So obviously with this break here, who do you think that favors right now? Because we've had a stoppage of play for almost 5 minutes right now. Does that favor anybody, or does that work to the disadvantage on both sides?
I think it favors the Killer Rays because one, they kind of get to regroup and kind of talk a bit. They got a huge challenge call for themselves, so hopefully that gives them motivation. From changing from a touchdown to having a stop it's pretty big how you see it, right? Because we went from having a 9-point score to only having only having 3, right? So definitely, it's on the side of the Killer Rays.
And also defensively for the Killer Rays. So the question I asked you before for the Goons, and now it applies to the Killer Rays, right? You're down by 3. You just gave up what you thought was going to be kind of a backbreaking touchdown. You got a reprieve. You got a little break here. What do they have to do defensively to make sure they don't let another ball into the end zone?
They just have to make sure they're playing over top. Like the coverage was great, but you have to realize that if you're deep, there's no reason for someone to run pass by you, especially if you're midfield. So just make sure if you're playing that corner position or that middle position and you're playing deep, just stay deep. Because to a point where I feel like the quarterback from the Goons, he was going to throw that no matter what. So if you're actually in the coverage that you should have been in, that should have been a pick instead of even being a tip, where thankfully he was able to get a hand in there, and that did kind of mess up the concentration of him having a possession of the ball. But that's easily a pick, and that would have been a huge momentum swing.
Don't forget the action continues here in Brossard. The next game we have coming up will be the Co-Ed 3 championship between the number 2 seed Anything and the number 6 seed Kiss My A's. Pretty good matchup coming up. Reigning quarterback of the year, Felix Derry, Bernard of Anything will be in action. Here comes Chombley, another solid quarterback right there. Quarterback run to the right side. Didn't get out of bounds. Actually, good move by him.
Yeah, he was going to. If I was the defender over there, I kind of would have
Let him go.
I would have let one bounce. But it's something that you're not really thinking about. At the end of the day, you're just kind of trying to take away his flag, right? So.
And part of, so again, we talked about rules, right? With the 1 foot in bounds. Another rule that we installed this year is the pro clock, right? And so you can stop the clock if you run out of bounds. You pick up a first down, like you were saying a little earlier, right? The clock stops until the officials are able to set up the first down markers and that set up the rushing marker, and then they can whistle play it back in. That's something new to FPF this year. Before it would just be the final 5 plays of the half, and that would be at the clock would not stop unless there was an injury.
So here we go, deep ball. Oh.
Nice defensive play.
See how I see that. That should be a pick. You can see the defender kind of running with the receiver to a point where he should have been over top of the coverage in general. Thankfully, he was able to kind of turn his head and make a play over the ball. But these are kind of gifts to help your team out and have a turning point. Again, like if you're deep, you got to play deep. There's no reason for you to looking at the quarterback.
Yeah, Curtis Ryan with the stop right there, the rating 2-way player of the year. And a big sack right there, Jared Arani. Sacking Tremblay.
Yeah, that's a huge sack. That's a huge momentum switch right there. We're going into, I believe,
third and long now.
Third and long, exactly.
Third and about 20, it looks like.
I think this is where the Killer Rays go back into the 2-2-1 and make sure that they don't get beat over top.
Arani came into this game with 8 sacks so far in the postseason. He added, I think that was his 3rd sack of the game right there, if I'm not mistaken. So big factor in this game, as we talked about all game, right? Arani from the Killer Rays and Pepin for the Goons.
Yeah, so that's exactly it. When they had in the first half where they got their first stop and that led them to a touchdown, it started with a sack from Arani. So the fact that they're able to do it here, hopefully it's going to lead to a stop, and then we're going to have a crazy finish.
Just under 90 seconds remaining here in this contest. Tremblay gets a snap a little high. He had to jump to get it. He goes to his right, now back to his left. Just escapes the would-be sack by Arani. He's on the run now. Tremblay to the right. Breaks a tackle. Not a second one. He gets taken down just past midfield.
Yeah, so that's really unfortunate that was not a sack there.
The Killer Rays now calling a timeout here.
Yeah,
Stop the clock.
That's kind of a dangerous timeout because actually, no, they actually have another one because they didn't lose their challenge timeout, right? They kept it. I believe that's the.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So it's totally fine. Totally fine. Timeout. Kind of regroup. We're looking at a 4th and 6. So that's something. To be honest with you, that could be the game as well, right? So you don't want to rely on the onside after scoring. So the fact that you kind of just want to regroup now, get everyone on the same page, and realizing, guys, this is it. Let's have a good call.
So the Goons used to close playoff games. 2 out of their 3 playoff victories this year have been 1-possession games. Pass to the end zone again. To the corner to Brazil, knocked out of bounds. Looks like that's number 13, Donovan Hines with the big play on defense.
Yeah, that's a huge play for them. Again, very scary, right? Because it seems like he was the deep coverage there, and he was not deep enough. It's a good thing he was backing. He was backing up enough, backpedaling enough to be able to get to that zone. If that ball is thrown a bit further to the outside to the second cone, that's definitely would have been a touchdown. So big break for Killer Rays, where they're able to make a drive here and try to take the lead.
Looking at how both teams got here to this point, the Goons beating the Process and the Trap Stars in the postseason. Killer Rays beating the Nighthawks and Speed Academy. Comes the Killer Rays now after getting the ball after turnover on downs, scrambled just past midfield.
So I believe they're saying he's out of bounds. So we're looking at a
stoppage of the clock now of about 50 seconds.
Yeah, so they have lots of time. Time is not going to be a factor for the Killer Rays. I think they'll be fine with the time. They just have to score now, and they have to make sure that they don't give time for the Goons to be able to make a drive after.
The Killer Rays with a huge defensive stop, looking to make the Goons pay. So they try to get out of here with the championship. Pass to the sideline to Gerberg. Will it be enough for the first down? No, it won't. He's about a yard short. So setting up now 3rd and 1 for the Killer Rays offense with about 1:05, 1:06 remaining in this game.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So he had the out right away to, I believe that's number 10.
It was Gerberg.
Yeah, Gerber. He had it right away. He kind of waited. I don't know why he was waiting before he threw the ball, but he did when he did. And now we're looking at a 3rd and 1. We're going to probably look at the shovel here.
Ball just past midfield, and you called the shovel. Bianchi elects to keep it instead. Scrambles. He's tackled by Pepin, but not after a 2-yard gain. And that, of course, will be a first down for the Killer Rays.
Yeah, so they have time. They have lots of time. They have to realize that the clock is only going to start when the refs are placing everything down. So they have lots of time. It seems like they have a really good quick offense as well. They're ready. They're ready to go.
The play has been whistled in, so the clock is running now. 50 seconds remaining here. Bianchi gets a snap, goes to his right, pass over the middle, off the hands of La Riviere. That was dangerous.
Yeah, so he was looking like he wanted to hit underneath, but really he had a corner coming from the opposite side. But Goons kind of saw that in the first half as well as the second half, so they kind of adjusted and they covered it really well.
So second down now, ball at about the 11, maybe 12-yard line now.
Yeah. So again, they're able to. Killer Rays is able to pick up a first down here. 42 seconds left. Lots of time left. Lots of time.
Bianchi gets a snap. He looks to his left. He goes on. Is batted down again by Pepin. His 3rd pass deflection of the contest.
Yeah, that was a great bat down. He had the snapper he wanted to throw the ball to right away. He kind of held the ball way too long before letting it go. He could have threw it at the beginning. He kind of waited, and then by the time he threw it, the snapper's hands were the rusher's hands were already up in there, and they were able to have a bat down. This is a huge 3rd down.
Yeah, 3rd and long right now. It's like 3rd and 10.
Yeah, they're definitely going to want to get some yards here. Even if it's 5 or 6, it's definitely going to help them down for 4th.
So Bianchi faces the shovel, looks to run, and he passes at the last second. Caught by Gerberg. He's tackled by Gauthier, rather by Poirier first, then Gauthier.
Yeah, so they called it a first down. So again, Killer Rays has all the momentum right now going into this. Lots of time, 33.4 seconds left. Lots of time. Time's only going to go run when the clock, when the bags are set.
First and goal from the 4-yard line now for the Killer Rays. Can they punch it in, or can the Goons get a stop? Less than 30 seconds remaining. Bianchi gets a snap, looks to his left. Pump fakes again. Pass falls incomplete. And that's the pressure right there by Pepin. He didn't get the sack, but he got home and caused Bianchi to throw the ball right into the turf.
So you're going to see on the replay that he had the corner route. The corner route was wide open. It developed, but he had it.
La Riviere, wide open.
Yeah, he kind of pump fake because he couldn't see exactly where his receiver was. He didn't want to throw an interception, so he kind of waited last second.
Second to goal now, trips to the right for the Killer Rays. Pass in the end zone, caught by Gerber, touchdown!
Yeah, that's a huge play. They went trips to one side, isolated their best receiver, and he made an amazing play.
Yeah, they put Gerberg on an island against Boucher. Gerberg with the quick. He faked the in there, planted his right foot in the turf, and exploded to his left for the touchdown. Beautiful route though by Gerberg, and that quarterback to wide receiver connection strikes once again.
Yeah, exactly. There's a reason why that he was the receiver of the year. So again, now they're up by 3. The extra point's not going to really matter as much, but they're still going to take it here. They're going for 1.
The 38-35 lead right now for the Rays. Bianchi gets a snap, toss to the end zone.
Yeah,
no one's home on that one.
Yeah, it looked like that. He kind of just threw it away. He kind of also realized that his defense is going to have to make a stop here. I believe we have 17 seconds left. They ran some clock off, but I'm not exactly sure. It seems like there'll be 17 to about maybe 20 seconds, depending how the clock is. But Goons is going to have, at best, I would say 4 plays if they know how to time management this. So it's still possible. And again, they're very athletic. They're definitely going to have a chance to win this game.
So Gerberg with his 3rd touchdown of the evening. Will it be the game winner? Let's find out. Again, 3-point game. Just outside of 12 seconds remaining in the contest.
So you're going to see the 2-2-1 defense right here. Middle of the field should be wide open.
Chamba gets a snap. He goes to the middle of the field to Poirier.
Yeah, so that's a first down.
Good tackle there in the middle of the field.
They called their timeout. They could have maybe held their timeout depending on how much time was left, but they kind of called it. The fact that they just ran 20 yards, it would have been impossible for the ref to kind of run, stop, get the cones and start the clock before they were able to break their huddle. So unfortunately, it's kind of maybe a waste timeout. Be able to kind of regroup and kind of make a play, but I think they could have saved that timeout, had everyone on the line, ran quick hooks, probably maybe took maybe 1 second off the clock, then call their timeout, get extra 5-6 yards. But again, that's just me, Todd. That's my opinion.
There you go. You're entitled to it. So a good tackle there by Corey Arani, number 23, the brother, obviously, of Jared, the rusher, number 7. Chamba gets a snap just before midfield, goes to the end zone. It's intercepted. And Riviere picks his ball off, and this game is pretty much all but over right now, and it is. The officials wave the flag. So the Killer Rays, with a defensive stand at the end, win the game by a score of 38-35, and they are your Division 4A champions.
Yeah, that was a great break off defending play from number, I believe it's number 2 from Killer Rays.
Yeah, Aiden La Riviere.
Lavrier, yeah, he was kind of looking at the whole way. As soon as the receiver went in to run his post, he kind of jumped on it and made a great play for interception and sealed the game and got them the win.
Yeah, huge defensive stand by the Killer Rays. We talked about, right? These 2 teams in the Goons and the Killer Rays, known for their offense, but again, a big defensive play right there to seal the deal for the Killer Rays.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But see, that's was something we were talking about by experience and kind of like beginners, right? If Goons kind of realized that they had extra time before forcing that last route, where he had easy comebacks from both sides. He could have made it so much easier. Right now they're at midfield, they're at the 20-yard line. They easily could have made maybe a 10-yard comeback, and they would have had maybe 1 or 2 seconds left in the game. Instead, he forced it in where the ball wasn't really there, and then it pretty much lost him the game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, again, for a young team like the Goons, right? It's all about awareness, right? And knowing where you are on the field, knowing down and time and situation. Obviously, they kind of fell short in that regard, unfortunately for them. Looking at this team, though, as a whole, you have a lot of good players on it. You have a lot of speed, a lot of athleticism. Where do you think what do you think the future holds for them?
I think the future is pretty high. Again, the fact that their chemistry and they're guys that actually play contact football together, it means a lot of them are good friends. So that's something that's it's rare to see and something that you like to see. So I think for them,
Sky's the limit.
The sky's the limit. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna throw it down to the field.
Let's present the Division 4A champion, the Killer Rays. Captain Kurt, come get your trophy, buddy. All right, Kurt, come have some post-game words with us. So let me ask you a question. Looks like they're a bunch of your buddies. Look, you guys have been playing together. For how many years have you guys been together?
Since 2020, so five years.
All right, so 5 years. Is this your first championship?
Oh, no, we won Division 6, Division 5, and now Division 4.
All right, so flag.
Third champion.
So flag plus. You better be on watch for Killer Rays. I guess you guys have to go into Division 3 next year. But let me ask you a question. What does it feel like to win a championship with all your buddies?
I mean, the way we did it was more fun than anything. I mean, these are all good friends from high school, but Aiden down by the river, his last name's La Riviere, that's the joke. Big interception, he had 2 touchdowns. He's the MVP today. Way to go, Rays.
So he's actually not the MVP today. We're giving the MVP to Mr. Tyler Gerberg. Huge game. Tyler, come have a quick interview. So Tyler's the guy I've been trying to get on my team now for a few years. As everyone knows, I poach everyone in the league. How does it feel to be an MVP of the finals?
Feels pretty darn good, especially because I had to leave a bachelor party for this. So to all my boys watching this at home, congratulations, Davis. This is for you.
I like that. I like that a lot. All right, everyone. We got our Division 4A Winter 2025 champs, the Killer Rays. Back to you in the booth.
All right, so there you go. You have Tyler Gerberg is your MVP of the game. Obviously, wide receiver of the year in Division 4A. So I think a pretty good year for him.
Yeah,
pretty solid year.
Especially the fact that he's able to have the winning game touchdown as well. That's something special to do. And as again they said, right, they won Division 6, Division 5, not Division 4. So it's they're making a name for themselves.
Yeah, definitely. And they gave a shout out to Davis Wyatt, one of their players not here today. I believe it's his bachelor party going on right now, I guess. So, I mean, congratulations to him. He's still part of the championship roster. So, like I said, we have anything against Kiss My Ace coming up next in Division Co-Ed 3 game championship, I should say, coming up here. Final thoughts on this contest between the Killer Rays and the Goons?
It was a great game from start to finish. At first, it looked kind of a bit different when it was 20-12. Goons was able to come back, score that 8 points, turn it around, then score again, go up by 7, and then Killer Rays was able to fight back at the end. Big, huge challenge call, right? So if they don't make that challenge call, it comes to a point where I don't think they win that game. So just super good entertainment the whole way.
All right, so Tyler Gerber, game-winning touchdown. Aiden La Riviere seals the deal with an INT, and the Killer Rays are your Division 4A champions with a 38-35 victory over the Goons. He's Quasi Guatemala and Brent Bakken. We're going to stay tuned right now. Obviously, coming up, like I said, the Co-Ed Division 3 game coming up between the finals, I should say, coming up between anything and Kiss My A's. Stay tuned.